Join the movement. Hi, I'm Pagan from Liberation Yoga and the Heart of the Divine Mother. We're here to do a practice for you. We're going to do a preliminary basic pranayama sequence class. So if you haven't got a lot of time, within an hour, you can do this class and still get your pranayama in correctly so that your body can be open to receive the energy that is being extracted from the breath, the prana, the life force. Okay, we will begin first in swastikasana, seated upright. You'll be on the front of your buttock bones, your feet are ahead of you. Now it's important to sit with your thighs in line with your hip bones. If you're up high, you're struggling, the muscles are over gripping. Lift your buttocks up until you're in line. You're going to bring the hands over the face of the knees, chin level with the floor. First, we're going to do a clearing exercise to clear the energy so that we can go into our space and fill it with the amount of positive energy that we want. You're going to ground from both buttock bones, lengthen through the waist and ribs as you're lifting up to the armpit chest. The chin is level with the floor. Now, as if your eyelids started from the back of your skull, you're going to allow your eyelids to dome over the back brain, middle brain, front brain, and softly come down to the bottom eyelids. Notice the instant the eyes close, are you collapsing? Ground those buttock bones, lengthen through the waist and ribs, and start the breath. Lengthen through the waist, through the armpit, chest. We're going to be doing pranayama, so be conscious of the breath. You should always be conscious of the breath and your movements. Roll the shoulders open as you pull the thigh bones out, making space in the pelvic floor. Bring the chin level with the floor. And you should feel your back spine. If you don't feel your back spine, your head is possibly jutted forward. Create the J, the letter J. Chin to the jawline, jawline to the back of the skull, the long part of the letter J, lengthen. Open space in the body. Now find yourself in the center of the head, about an inch up from between both eyes, inside of the skull, and about 2 inches back inside of the forehead skull. So your consciousness is situated literally in the center of the head and in the central channel. We've opened the floor of the pelvis all the way up. Now, from the center of the head, as if your body were hollow, I want you to look down your body all the way to the floor of the pelvis. You don't have to take the posture fully. Now, staying in the center of your head, as if you had a sliding door on that pelvis, slide open that door and allow a tube to drop through the bolster, through the sticky mat, through the hardwood floor, down into the concrete below, through the different layers of the planet and down into the receiving arms of Mother Earth, the center of the planet. Feel that. If you have difficulty feeling that, then ask Mother Earth. She is more than willing to comply. Draw that tube up from the center of the planet, up the different layers, up, 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 into the concrete, the hardwood floor, the sticky mat, into the floor of the pelvis, through the waist and ribs, through the throat, inside of the skull, and that tube fastens itself into the upper innermost portion of your skull. Now widen that tube so it's as wide as your shoulders and hips. And staying from the center of your head, you're going to take a couple of big breaths in the belly. So Tai Chi breaths. You're going to inhale, push the belly out, and you're going to exhale, drop it. Going to do it a couple of times. Inhale as if you swallowed a beach ball. So even the back starts to inflate, and exhale, drop it. Everything is dropping down that tube. One more. Inhale. This time you're going to take the breath up to the shoulders and possibly the head. Inhale, belly pushes out, bring that breath up to the shoulders and head, and then exhale, let everything descend. Let everything wash through you. Everything that you don't need. 2 more breaths. Inhale, expansive, full to the shoulders and head, and then exhale, drop everything. You may start to notice things, you may start to see things, you may start to hear things. Drop it. Drop it all to the center of the earth. Anything that gets in the way of you being fully you. One more. Wide, big, and then drop it. All the way down. Floor of the pelvis, all the way down to the earth. Good. Now, staying in the center of your head, since you've just let go of energy, you need to replenish. As cheesy as it sounds, think of a golden sun above your head. Now, you don't have to see it so much as sense it. In that sun, you're going to place the kind of energy you want to hold at this moment in time for this practice and perhaps the day. You're going to fill it whatever energy you'd like. If you want clarity, if you want prosperity, if you want joy, put it in that sun. Notice and perhaps feel it grow larger. When it gets big and fat and about to burst, you're going to slide open the top of your head like you did your pelvis. And you're going to allow all that energy to draw through you as if you were underneath a waterfall. It's going to come rushing in through the skull, the throat, the brain, the shoulders, the ribs, the abdomen, down to the floor of the pelvis and out through the arms and legs. Breathe it. Inhabit it. Breathe it. Take your time with it. Absorb it. Good. From there, now we're going to retake the posture in a more informed manner. Draw straight up as you're working the energies. Open across the collarbones. Now bring your palms together at the chest. Use your thumbs to lift the chest up. If you feel that the chest can't lift, that means you're over gripping somewhere in the abdomen. Let it go. The only grip that should be present is about an inch up from the pubic plate as you draw the whole abdominal wall up to lift you. So now your body's clear so that you can receive the Ums, what I like to call the acoustic manifestation of all source love. 3 Ums, full-bodied, all 3 aspects, A, the U, and the M on the next exhalation. Feel the resonance of the Ums. Lengthen the back of the neck. Allow the chin to arc forward and down towards that notch between the collarbone. The chest rises to meet the chin. Softness is created across the throat, eyes, and face as you allow the skin right from where the placement area of the thumbs are to open laterally across the shoulders. Then bow to the rishis, yogis, and yoginis before us who created this path with their guidance and grace. Let us start this practice. Bring the backs of the hands to the thighs, lift the head. With closed eyes, stay in swastikasana. Again, notice if you're leaning backward, try to find the front buttock bones. You're extracting those thigh bones out to make space in the pelvic floor. Press the hands into the thighs, lift up, open across the collarbone. Then place your head in line, the cherry on top of your sundae, your vegan sundae. Lengthen up through the back of the skull. Good. Now you're going to open the eyes from the center of the head where you worked from in that clearing meditation. Softly, the gaze is expansive. You're going to bring your hands over the face of the knees and you're going to go forward into forward swastikasana. Extend, extend. Do not round the back, but lengthen out of the hips. Extend your arms ahead of you. Come on to your fingertips. Good. From there, keeping the fingertips in contact with that sticky mat, you're going to draw back and lengthen through the outer hips, getting a lengthening and a tilting of the pelvis. You should feel that. Breathe into that space of the lower back and sacrum. Now from there, you're going to start wrapping the outer arms, so tricep down, bicep up, and then widen the collarbones. From the grounding of that pelvis, you're going to pull the entire front body as you lengthen the chin. So the shoulder blades come into the back. Press the fingertips firmly because they're about the same size as your shoulder blades. Draw them into your chest. What? Yes, into your chest. Lengthen. Upper back in. Beautiful. She's going to walk her hands further forward. Pause. Look up again. Getting that length. Really lengthening the ribs and the waist. Again, we're doing pranayama. So that breath is going through the side body. Wrap the outer arms. Tailbone in, navel back and up. Look up from your upper back. Let your shoulder blades go in. Beautiful. Now she's going to flatten the hand. Keeping the extension, she's going to extend herself forward. And she's going to lengthen her neck from between the shoulder blade to let the head descend. If the head does not touch, we have a block. Any height. There you go. Got it? Always modify. It's not about killing yourself in the pose. It's about gaining the energy from the structure of the pose. Then she draws back and widens and breathes into the entire back. That head that's in contact with something is soft and spacious. Wrap those outer arms. Yes. Stay. Good. She's going to walk it back all the way. Now experiment with this at home. You could stay longer. This is a good pose to start with because of the consciousness that it brings and clearing to the front brain, because it's a forward bend, it's an extension of the side ribs and a hip opener. Dude. Cross the legs the other way. Adjust the buttock flesh here right on the front of the buttock bones. Feet are underneath the knees as close as you can. So this is not swastikasana, that's sukhasana, happy easy pose, right? Have the same demeanor in swastikasana where the feet go out. So you have a wide base to work from. And then hands over the face of the knees, lift up. Good. Extend yourself forward. From the buttock bone, she's extending the arms, extending the ribs. Beautiful. She presses her fingertips again. Same thing we did before. Wraps the outer arms, gets space in the collarbone. Now the shoulder blades go in as she lengthens the chin up. And she breathes into that upper back. Who knows? It may be stiff. Maybe. Walk the hands further forward. Oh, pause again as you lengthen back. Widen. Upper back in, lengthen now. She flattens the hands. Maybe extends her arms just a tad more to get more length. If it's there, if it's not, stay. She's going to lengthen her neck from the theoretical home between the shoulder blades to descend the head. So the neck extends first. So think of the neck. Don't think of the head just dropping. And then you could see she's still, well, on this side, she doesn't need a block, but we could have used the block. Flatten, yes. She lengthens back and opens wide and breathes into that entire back. You want those shoulders open, open, open. That's it, that's it. She's fighting with me. Why? Because she's my daughter. She actually teaches here on Tuesdays at 11:30 and Thursdays. Yeah. Good. Again, walk yourself back so you could stay there for half a second. You could stay there for a minute or more. It's up to you, however much time you have. These poses are repositories of energy. It's the amount of energy you give them, they will give it back. Okay? Beautiful. Awesome. You're going to come into Virasana. So she's going to come on her shins, and she's going to have her feet to the outer hips. Yes. Now, she may need a block. Do you need a block? To sit on. Have the block any way. This way, this way, this way, whatever. She really doesn't need a block. She needs something lower. But I spoil her because she's my daughter, right? Ground the tops of the thighs. Stretch those toes. You're going to do Anjali. Interlace the fingers. So remember the 3 dynamics in yoga. Grounding, lifting, expansion. She's going to ground the shins and feet. She's going to extend the arms out. Navel back and up, right? From the grounding, she's going to inhale and take her arms up. Yes, yes, yes. Beautiful. Grounding the shins and locating the buttock bones and their relationship to the waist and ribs. That's important. When we do pranayama, you want to expand those ribs. Not only get in contact with the intercostals, the muscles between, but you want them to expand laterally too. Yeah, elbows in, go. Keep going. Oh God. That's it. Consciously breathing up the side body. Beautiful. And release. Now we do the other interlace. This one may be puzzling. It took me a while. So there's one index finger that you favor. Exchange it for the other one. It took me a while. Elbows in, lift the chest. And extend the arms up, up, up. Breathe, breathe. Keep going, breathe. Lengthening, lengthening, lengthening. Squeeze those elbows. Yes, yes. Notice there's a nice alignment between her hips and her shoulders and her wrists. She's doing really well. She's to turn. Yes. That rotation's important. That rotation activates the muscles around the ribs so that you can actually work the ribs, extend them. Good. And release. Very, very nice. Good. From there, she stays there, right? Now, if you need to take a break after that, absolutely take a break. For some people, just this action is a lot. We're going to do a little twist in it. She's going to take her right arm and bring it to the outer side of her left knee, her left hand back behind her. You want to see that the spine is upright. You never want to drop all the weight back because then you're not accessing the spine. You want to be level from the buttock bones, whatever your groundings are, the shins. She lifts up. Good. She uses his hand for leverage, because I hear leverage is big in this town. Press the hand, lengthens, inhale, and turns. She turns that right rib, the waist, the hip bone. It's all about balance. She's trying to balance these shoulders. Now, she rolls the shoulder back as the shoulder blade goes in. That's key. It's the skeletal structure that needs to be aligned. That's it. So that skeletal structure is turning her. Shoulder blade in, slides forward. This opening in the back shoulder, which brings the other shoulder blade in. Awesome. And release. Other side, same body. Right hand back, left hand. Excellent. She's lifting up, grounding. Make sure this is your primary buttock bone as you lift up. I didn't tell you before. So if you want to rewind that video. Press, turn, left rib, yes, turns. Excellent, excellent. She doesn't want to drop weight into that back hand, right? She's doing really well. Then she has to finally align those shoulders. The shoulder blade goes forward as she rolls this right shoulder back. Roll this back, bend the elbow, bend the elbow. Yeah, that's it. So bend the elbow, yes. Then the head turns. Okay, good. And then slowly release. We've accessed this area. We've worked the hips already, getting you ready for pranayama. Excellent. She's going to come up and take a standing forward bend, Uttanasana. Simplified. So the feet are the width of her hips. We like to think in Iyengar yoga that this is the triangle, the foot, big toe, metatarsal, little toe, head of the heel. Those press. That's a triangle. That presses so that you can lift up the flesh of the legs. She brings her hands on her hip, or arms akimbo, and she comes forward. Yes, and she sees that just in that simple action, right, her weight may have teetered, but she's doing a good job. Why? Because she's been doing it all her life. Ground the triangle, the foot, big toe, little toe. Now lift the flesh up the legs, yes. Squeeze the hips and pull down. So opposites are always working. As you ground and lift the flesh of the legs up, you're pulling the torso down, trying to find a balance in both. From the feet, front body, back body. Keep going. Let go of the back of your skull, yes. So your ears are in line with your arms. Don't lift your head up. Yes. There you go. Beautiful. Excellent. And she's going to release and bring her hands on her hips. Yes, she's going to bend the knees if she need be, or you can come up with a straight back, or with straight legs and a straight back. Excellent. Beautiful. From there, she doesn't do anything, doesn't shave. She extends the arms out. Beautiful. Excellent. Now we're just going to do a simple Garudasana arms. She's going to cross the right arm on top of the left, right? And then she's going to bring them together, the hands, right? She's lifting the energy up by grounding. Now she has to drop the shoulders on the shoulder girdle and really turn those thumbs so it faces your nose, not your nose facing your thumbs, okay? Good. To give it a little more spice, why? Because we're in California, which used to be Mexico. He's going to take that left hand and push down to open the collarbones. Do not imitate her facial gestures. Breathe. You want the collarbones to be balanced. She's stretching. She's breathing. You see? She's a dancer also. She's got a little stiffness up there. Good. And she comes back up, extends the arms out, keeps the lift, navel back. She crosses the other arm. So it'd be the left arm on top. She bends the elbow. Try to bring the hands together. First, she goes down to her feet. The grounding, always grounding, lifting, expanding. Lift the flesh up the legs, drop the shoulders. Beautiful. And then from there, she takes this hand. See what her face looks like now. Open across the collarbones. Don't start smoking. Breathe in and out of the nose. When you breathe out of the mouth, or breathe in from the mouth, you excite the nervous system. You want to bring both nervous systems together to make them non-reactionary. That's right. You know many people in the Oval Office who could use this. And come back up and release. Oh, yes. Mm-hmm. Awesome. She hinges forward from the hips and starts to go into Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. She's going to keep her knees bent in the beginning. The hands are the width of the shoulders. She's extending all the way back. Notice this looks like forward swastikasana, the first pose. She's extending, getting the lengthening, right? Wrapping the outer arms and getting the width. Grounding, lifting, expansion. Now, press your thighs back. Push back. Now, she can do that and bring the weight further back. Bend your knees. If you're trying to straighten the legs and you're rounding, keep your legs bent until you gain the opening in the back hamstrings. It's fine. Your body will adapt. Press your thighs back. Yes. Wrap the outer arms. Excellent. Keep going. Thighs back, thighs back. Now, as you're pressing back, she wants to find her shoulder blades like she did when she did the twist. She takes the shoulder blades in towards the chest. She takes her chest towards her legs, which gives her a slight back extension, opening. When she does that, she presses the thighs back more. He's so mean to his daughter. That's it. Beautiful. Turn. Yes. Excellent. Then from there, you can come down. You can take child's pose, toes together, knees apart, active child's pose. So no floppy child's pose. The ribs are the width of her, the ribs are inside of the inner thighs. So the knees are the width of your ribs. She's active with the hands. Just like forward swastikasana in the first pose, she's lengthening back. Again, consciousness is through the ribs. You're breathing through the side body. Awesome. Beautiful. Good. And then she comes up. Excellent. We're going to do a variation of Gomukhasana. Now, I teach from the template of the Iyengar system, and That system has you bringing the knees together and sitting back with the feet alongside, right? So we're going to attempt that. If that becomes impossible, you can widen. Some systems teach it wide like this, all right? We teach it close, where this back foot is like Virasana. Remember Virasana, when she was on her shins and extending the arms up. So we're going to attempt this. Now, again, if this is difficult, then you can go wide and get a block. Just have your pelvis balanced. Go ahead. Come onto your shins. Take your right. Yes, yes, yes. So we have two ways of doing it. Actually, many ways. She's going to sit back on her heel. Yeah, go ahead. Go back, back, back. Again, if this becomes impossible, widen the legs, sit on a block. Yes. Yes, see, that was smart. She put that there, right? So now her hips are balanced. I raised her well. Yes. Lift up tall. She's going to extend her right arm out. She's going to turn the arm in the socket and bring it back behind her until her hand's on her spine. Now, because you may have stiffness in the hips and the shoulders, you may need a strap. She's going to take her other arm up, bend the elbow, and either grab the hands or the straps. Either one would work. Ideally, you want to bring that forearm in the center so she grounds both buttock bones, lifts up, and opens. Grounding, lifting, expanding. She presses her head into her forearm as she rolls that shoulder back, and she brings the breath up through the side body, filling the chest with the breath. Yes. You're trying to equalize the breath on both. Yes, both lungs. Keep rolling the shoulder back. Yes, that's it. Yes. Good. And she's going to release. Again, take it as long as you want. She's going to turn the arms out. Yes. So you can just unwind the arms and shoulders. And then she's going to come back on her shins and change legs. So it was right knee, then left leg. Okay? She's using the block again. She's working smart. Again, it's not killing yourself in the pose. It's finding the balance in the pose. The body will accommodate once it's aligned. You're aiming for that alignment. That alignment opens up that conversation between you, the pose, and your mind. Good. Now she's going to extend her left arm out. Bend the elbow, bring it back behind you. Good. She's going to extend her other arm up. Again, if you need a strap, you would be taking a strap and you would be holding the strap. You don't have to do it. She'd be holding the strap. Okay? She grounds the hips. She tries to place that forearm right in the back of the skull. So grounding, lifting, now expand out to the edges of your shoulders. Roll the left shoulder back. Yeah, press the head back. So that gives you that length of the spine. All poses involve the stretching of the spine. That's it. She tries to bring the breath up, even into both lungs. Keep going. Roll the shoulder back. Yes, breathe. Excellent. Open, open, open. Yes. Good. And release. Beautiful. Again, she takes the arms out and unwinds. Okay. She's going to come up to a standing position. In the center of your mat. So face that way. Yes, yes, yes.
Tadasana?
No. Yeah, Tadasana now. So we always start from the Tadasana, the first pose in yoga. It's all about balance. Again, feet, front body, back body. top body. Good. She's going to bring her fingertips to her chest. She's going to jump her arms and legs wide. Now, this is optional if you want to continue this, or we're going to give you another pose that you can do. We're going to do warrior one. She's going to take her hands ahead of her first and interlace her fingers. We're going to do that just so she can get the lengthening of the torso. Take your arms up, palms up. Just like we did in Virasana when she was seated. She's lifting. This, emphasizing the breath, emphasizing this length. She's going to turn the back leg 60 degrees. Yeah, the front leg 90, and then she's going to turn the hips. So the front hip goes back. The back hip comes forward. Press the back shin to the heel, squeeze the legs and grow tall. Yes. And then from there, she's going to softly bend her front knee, being ever so conscious of keeping that torso straight up. Sit, sit, sit. Open, breathe. Yes. Good. Then she comes up. She turns the feet forward, goes to the other side, and changes the interlace. Why? Because when you change the interlace, you're hitting both sides of the shoulder. Back leg is 60, front leg is 90. Now the front hip has to go back as the back hip comes forward. She's squeezing the legs in to grow tall. She's emphasizing that length. Softly bend the front knee. Bend, bend, bend. She's trying to make space. Always go wide. Yes. Beautiful. Lengthen. Turn the left rib forward. Yes. Keep pressing the back heel. For some people, the heel will lift. If it lifts, don't worry. Keep extending the heel back or place something underneath the back heel, like a rolled up blanket or a bolster. Lift your heel up. That will give you the grounding. The hamstrings will take care of the rest eventually. And then she comes up, turns the toes forward, right? And then she steps or jumps her feet back. Excellent. Tadasana. Good, good, good. Now we're going to lie down on our belly. Actually, lie on your back. Yeah, she's going to place this block in her upper back. Right? Now, her head is going to drop back. That may strain her neck, so you'll put something underneath here. Drop. So I'm giving you an alternative. After that pose, which is really intense to do, you can drop here and emphasize the shoulder blade going into the back. So that block is hitting her just underneath the shoulder blade and the upper back. And she drops these shoulders. Now, you could also place that in the front after we did forward swastikasana. It's up to you. Good. She's there for a while. She extends her right arm back. No, she extends both arms down alongside her. She draws the chin in, presses the feet, bring her feet in closer, uses her abs and feet and arms, and comes up. Excellent. Now she rolls on her belly. So you can drop that in, and you could actually do that if you please. Yeah. Now she brings her hands just a little ahead of her shoulders, right there. We're going to do Bharvajasana, Cobra. She's going to grip the outer buttocks and extend the buttocks as if she could extend them to the toes. Right? Get your feet a little wider. Yeah. So the width of your hips, you can bring them together. That's more the classical pose in the Iyengar legacy, but it's harder. Now, if you have problems with this where you feel it in your lower back, take your legs as wide as a sticky mat. Go wide. Yeah, and do that. So this half of the body grounds so this half can lengthen and open. She grips the buttocks. Good, you could go back to your normal pose. She grips the buttock and slowly starts to arch upright. Every lengthening of the body, front and back, is dictated by the work of the legs. Ground. That's it. Stretch those toes. Open the collarbone. She has the sensation of that block in the upper back. That's what has to go into her chest to open. There you go. Keep going. Arch some more. People are watching this. Breathe. Keep going. That's it, that's it. Keep going, lift those elbows. Yes, arch, yeah, stay. Open the collarbones, that's it. Go. Where she was is maybe your pose. That's fine as long as this arch opens, that upper back. You're not working from your lower back. You're extending from the waist, front and back body. Good. Then lengthen up and look up. Open those shoulders, yes. Good, slowly come down. She slowly arches down. Beautiful, excellent. Now, from there, we're going to lie down and we're going to do some pranayama, okay? So, we could do it two ways. Again, you could sit on the bolster, upright, sit on the bolster, upright. Like when we first started class in swastikasana, provided that your thigh bones are in line with your hips. If not, all these muscles are over gripping just to keep you up. Your spine will never stretch upright. All right, here she can work and lift up. Yeah, you can do that this way, or we can go and lie down. Now, head this way. Sit over there. She takes the bolster, doesn't bring it all the way close, brings it slightly away for onto the floating ribs. It changes every day. She wants to lie back and possibly have a blanket here. Go, come back. Yes. The blanket is for the head. The chin should slightly come down, right? So you're creating a softer version of Jalandhara Bandha. When you're seated upright, your chin would be touching your chest would be touching your chin. She adjusts, right? She extend the legs, let the legs flop out, and soften for a bit. If you've been doing that, if you've been doing the practice, yeah, you'll need a little clearing. We clear it in the beginning, now you just soften a little further. Pranayama is approached differently from the asanas, the postures. In the asanas, you're pushing, 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 trying to expand more consciousness into your bones, into your flesh, and by there, opening the mind. Here, it's more subtler, deeper. So we work through the body to gain access through the breath. She's going to take a couple of breaths normally. She's breathing normally. That's all she's doing. Now, from here, she's going to just extend the length. So she's been lying here, noticing her breath, because she's just been working. She's going to make her exhalation a little longer than the inhalation. Just a tad. Normal inhalation, extended exhalation. Go ahead. Do it 2 times. Her exhalation is slightly longer. Now, if you're watching, you could do this 3 times, 4 times, whatever you need. This could be the extent of your pranayama practice. Then she goes back to normal breathing after that. Then she's going to extend the length of her inhalation just a little more than the exhalation. 3 breaths. But you can do 2. Good. Then she goes back to normal breathing, right? Now from here, we're going to piece them all together. She knows what the length of both the inhalation and exhalation. And remember, there's just one circuit. There's really no separation. Now she's going to bring them softly together. Softly extend her inhalation, softly extend her exhalation. Soft. We're not really doing purposeful pranayama yet. This is just softly being guided by the breath, your breath. Every person's breath is different, just like everybody's. Beautiful. Now, just demonstrative purposes, we're going to sit up. Extend your right arm back alongside your right ear. Bend both knees and roll. Sit up. Yes, yes, yes. Beautiful. She's going to sit upright. And I'll show you the path of the breath. We're going to do Ujjayi breath. Ujjayi, loosely termed, is called triumphant uprising. Think of it, rising. So that your rib cage expands and lifts up where it almost looks like armor. Right? So she'd be seated, right? So that means her chin is towards her chest. Right? So those of you who are regular practitioners can do this right now. She's going to lift her chest to her chin, chin to the chest, so that chest is lifted, right? She's going to relax her breath. Now the breath comes up. Now I'm just going to demonstrate. Don't do anything. The breath comes from the floor of the pelvis. Think of the floor of the pelvis. Boom. And it lifts up from the center and goes up those same side ribs you've been working as you were doing your posture. Up. Then she expands the lungs. And then the ribs, trying to find equality on both. Now you'll find one rib and one lung won't be as cooperative. That's okay, it's part of the practice. She brings it up to where she's evenly lifting that breath, and then she exhales the same amount of breath. All right. Now, you can lift your head. So, it's as if you have a cup and you're pouring the water hits the center of the cup and expands outward. That's what you're doing. Now I want to hear the sound. There's a sound. There's that sound of the ocean in the back of the throat. Do it. Yeah. Now, when you exhale, that sound is like an S right between the eyes. You're focused and alert to take even breaths. It's about balance. So you want to take an even inhalation, even exhalation. Eyes are soft, your eyes are melted, and they're stationed in the heart so you can get a better vantage point of what's going on. And you'll notice that each breath is different. So, we're going to lie down. Come. So, no, do it like we did before. We're going to do, hold up. Okay, go. Take your head, lift your head. That's it. She adjusts herself, her shoulder blades are flat, her legs are relaxed. So, you would have gone from that other one where you were just watching your breath straight into here. I just wanted to show you the path of the breath. Her eyes are melted and focused in her heart. Her face is soft, like Shavasana, the last pose, everybody's favorite pose. Right. She's going to take a normal breath. Now, key here. She's going to take a normal breath. At the end of that breath, then the pranayama happens. Now, even inhalation, even exhalation. But as she goes to take her next breath, if she can't take enough breath, just take a normal breath. Take one, take two, take as many as you need so that you can gather your energy and begin doing Ujjayi breath. So her eyes are soft, her face is soft. At the end of a breath, you're going to take that breath up through the waist and ribs, expand the lungs, expand the ribs, wherever it takes you. The chest remains lifted as she slowly follows the path. The ribs draw in, the lungs draw in. That breath comes all the way down. You may feel it gripping around your abdomen. Just let it go and let it empty into the floor of the pelvis. She's going to do it a couple more times. At the end of the breath, that navel draws down and everything goes in and up. Yes. She's conscious of the breath throughout, from the floor of the pelvis all the way to the center of the heart, all the way to wherever the breath goes. You're watching and following that path. Pranayama is the extraction of the life force from the breath. In this system, When the body's ready, then we do pranayama. But this is very simple, and you can definitely do this at home on your own. Good. So you do maybe some sets. You do a set of like 4 or 5, pause, go back to normal breathing, go back again, do 5, do it 3 times. You'll notice again how different each breath is, because your mind is different, your body's different at that time. You're bringing all the senses together to focus on that breath and extract that life force. You've heard the term light beings. It's light that you're extracting. You're extracting the light. You're unraveling the light that's within, the life force. When you leave the body, of course your breath leaves, but that life force stays and goes on. Good. And then after you're done, you can take your right arm back. See, she's in the zone. She bends the knees and carefully rolls off her bolster. If you don't have a bolster, get blankets, whatever you need to prop yourself up. She pauses and then she sits herself up. Awesome. From there, you would naturally go into Shavasana. She lies down, the legs come out, the arms come out. She's balanced. Even here, there's alignment. If your head has a tendency to draw back because you may have stiffness in the shoulder, just place something underneath your head, right at the base of the skull. And then drop in again, just like you did. You'll notice that your breathing pattern has changed because of the pranayama. And that was just one time. Imagine if you did it every day. She's relaxed and she's melting into the back body, surrendering all. Then goes into the main sensory organs of the body, the eyes, the mouth, the ears. She allows the skin to soften on her face, all across the features of the face, from the bridge of the nose to the cheekbones to the ears, from the chin to the jawline, top lip, bottom lip, the skin lets go. The forehead skin slides back and the temples let go. Then she goes into those main features. She allows the eyes to melt and she notices the sensations. She goes into the back of the throat where the tongue starts. She lets the tongue go and notices the sensations. It's an individual practice. Notice what your body is telling you. Notice what your mind is telling you. And then from the openings of the ears, as if you can close the openings of the ears and withdraw the sense of hearing inside to where those liquid eyes and that liquid tongue is residing. She lets go. She notices the sensations of opening, release, and expansion, and she tries to replicate it through her body, through her shoulders, arms, into the wrists. The crease of the palm increase, another of the organs of perception, the hands and the fingertips. She lets go through the abdomen, through the pelvis. She allows the feet even to soften. She's allowing her conscious mind and her breath to guide her through the body. Remember, pranayama and shavasana are different. Here, you're allowing yourself to go in a different manner. It's not an aggressive, rajistic manner. It's a softer, involved manner where you're going in with your conscious mind and breath and letting go. This prepares you for seated meditation. And then we softly come out. She extends her right arm back. She bends both knees. She rolls to the right. With closed eyes, she sits herself up. She She's going to sit on her bolster, and then we're just going to close with 3 arms. You're going to notice the space. So when you come out of Shavasana, keep those eyes closed. You're going to notice the space that you've created and what your body is telling you and how the energy channels have perhaps awakened. Hands at the heart, 3 arms, full-bodied, all 3 aspects, the A, the U, and the M, from the floor of the pelvis, top of the head, and from behind the heart and the space between the hands in Anjali Mudra, the arm configuration, to cultivate compassion. We're extending the acoustic manifestation of all source love, Aum, the vibration that flows through everything. In the ocean, Om. You put the seashell to your ear, Om. Even in outer space, they found that deep space, they hear a sound, and it's Om. Hands together, lift the chest, and on the next exhalation. Pause, notice the resonance. Notice the difference between when you first did the arms and you're seated and you're releasing energy, and now. Bring the chin to the chest. Chest rises to meet the chin. I bow to the Lord within you. Namaste. Back to the hands to the thighs. Lift the head with closed eyes. From the center of the head, allow the eyes to open. Awesome. Thank you for playing with me. Namaste.